Hey guys, welcome back. I have Rayhaan Elixer. Yep, this is not a new one. This has been out for quite some time. I've taken my own sweet time. In fact, I completely forgot about this guy and the original, that is the Jean Paul Gaultier Lamal Elixir, until another fellow YouTuber yesterday kind of inspired me to make a little video on both of them, maybe even compare them. But I just wanted to make two separate videos because I think both of them need to be explained on their own. But with this guy, I will tell you what the major differences are. Now, for me, this one has a twist, and for me, that twist makes this one way more versatile. Uh, I like the OG. There's no doubt on that. It's a nice scent, but I do find it a bit challenging to wear because of the warm sweetness in that. That sweetness has a lot of warmth. The honey has a lot of depth compared to this. Again, for all you niche boys out there, I know it's not what you think. Tobacco, you're going to say the tobacco is synthetic, the honey is synthetic, this are designer shit, and that. I'm not saying this is better than any niche. For a designer, the JPJ Lamal Elixir is pretty good. It has a deep honey note. It has a tobacco note, but of course, I don't really. For some reason, I don't pick up too much on the tobacco note in the OG as well. The mint is what differentiates it. Uh, the OG, the JPG Elixir, the mint in that comes off for me as a much more aromatic mint. It is more aromatic. It is more fragrant. It feels, at least for me, it feels like a little spearmintish mint. Comes off, really fresh actually off the top. The lavender and the mint, like really, really, they're just amazing. I mean, what can I say? The opening's just amazing. But of course, who are we kidding? The vanilla, the tonka, the benzoin and all that sweetness from that, the honey, they just come through. Basically, they're the star of the show is the honey and the vanilla in combo in the OG. And it's the same story here. But what happens with the Rayhaan Elixir, it wears much lighter. It's almost like I don't know if they intended to make it like that, or maybe they did because Middle Eastern houses do maybe they do factor in the heat, the climatic conditions of the Middle East. I don't know. At least that's my thinking. That's my reasoning behind it. But everything in this just seems muted, like the honey is not rich enough. The tobacco note, I mean, for me at least, I don't pick up the tobacco in the OG, and I don't really pick up too much of that in this. I think they're about the same, intensity wise in both. The lavender and the other sweeter part, which is the other benzoin sweetness, the vanillic sweetness, and the mint as well. The mint is there in this, but again, it's not as as vibrant as the OG. They just come off a lot more area. They're like a lot more aromatic, like more effervescent kind of. So they wear much lighter, but I do get the slightest. I don't know why, but I do get that slightest, Middle Eastern nuance in this. I mean, it's super minimal, super minimal. I have no issue with it at all. I have no problem with it because overall the scent is a lighter scent. It comes close as far as the scent profile goes. Again, understand I'm saying this as far as the scent profile goes with the OG. It comes close. It comes very close, very very close. But this wears much lighter. So if you are in a hotter, general hotter environment or a hotter country in general, if let's say most of the year, your temperatures are warm-ish, something like that, you're not in one of the colder climates, this is a much better way. And of course, this is going to be much cheaper. I think this is going to be, even with today's pricing on the Lamal Elixir, I think Rayhan Elixir is still going to be about one third the price, or probably cheaper than that as well, compared to the OG. So it is definitely something to consider. But let's say I'm just going to say for a second, let's consider both the prices are the same. Let's say the Rayhan and the JPG are the same price wise, both of them. In fact, I have this bottle right here. Let me just put it side by side. Now let's say both of them are the same. Now this guy's a 125 mil, and this one's a 100 mil. Just keep that in mind. But this one is probably 30% the price of that even today, and or probably even cheaper than that. Now, for a second, if the prices are the same, I will sort of have to go with the Rayhan Elixir still, because for me, the general climatic condition in the region I am, we are around 25 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade, and summers obviously it goes much higher than that. So if in it doesn't go below really 15 degrees or something in winters as well for me. So for me, this one makes more sense because this one wears more lighter. This one doesn't get as cloying as now the Rayhaan Elixer. Now, having said that, this guy has been, I think, has been in my perfume cabinet for at least 6 months now. So it did change. I felt like when it came, when it was brand new, it was a little more synthetic right off the gate, but now it's a lot more calmer, a lot more tamer. This is much more easier. So Rayhaan Elixir, for just by itself, I think it's a great scent profile. It is sweet, still sweet. I'm not saying this is not sweet. It's sweet. Lot more area to wear. I wish this one had a nicer mint note on it. I just wish. I mean, that's all we could do. We can always wish, but it wears much easier. It wears more lighter. I will have to go with this unless I'm going to a cold climate. I'm traveling and I'm going to be in some kind of an open area or something. Then I'll go with the JPG Rayhaan Elixir. But for me, this one is recommended. Now the hype is off. Obviously, I have no reason to hype it up or anything like that. I'm not hyping anything up. I'm just saying for what it is. For me, I would go with this guy just because of the way it wears. But JPG, pretty awesome scent. I know it was pretty. I wouldn't say it was a groundbreaking one because most of the Pakaraban 1 millions, they almost smell sort of similar. It's in the similar ballpark. But anyway, that's a different story. So yeah, this one's definitely a winner for me. Again, I would say this is definitely masculine leaning. Projection, performance, pretty good on this. I have nothing to complain about. Now, if you compare with the OG, yeah, sure, it might fall short. But just by itself, pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Even you don't need more than that easily through the day, especially if you're going to hit clothes. That is, it's going to be on clothes 24 hours, easy, guaranteed. Now, I'm just going to do a couple of sprays so you can, let me just put it like that. You can see the atomizer on that. See that? Pretty good atomizer. Nice dispersion on that, actually. For a non-pressurized atomizer, that's pretty good. All right, guys, I'm just going to wrap it up. That was my quick review on the Rayhaan Elixir. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.